We're back after the break from the 2022 World Cup. I'm hoping that break hasn't distracted our minds from the promotion push. We're halfway through the season and now it's going to get exciting. We also have our FA Cup game today. It's time to roll the new intro. Hello and welcome to Club 3 episode 6 of Non-League to Glory. I'm Adam and on today's episode we have our home game against Gillingham and then we'll be underway in the Cup. Let's have a look at since I last left you. So we'd last played Stoke where we won 2-0 thanks to Pellegrini and Favile. We then beat QPR 2-1 thanks to Ray and Cherky's 2 goals. We then beat Blackpool 3-1 thanks to a hat-trick from Goebbels. We then lost to Barnsley 1-0 before we beat Hull City 2-1 thanks to Welbeck and Goebbels. I then arranged lots of friendlies in the winter-ish break because of the World Cup. Low-level opposition to keep that confidence going. And that brings us today where we'll play Gillingham. If we look at the squad, I have got a fair few injuries. Pellegrini, Pozzo, Bulker and Harvey Elliott all injured. But we're in good form. And we're going to see how we get on here. So into today's game, and this is the team that we're putting out to face Gillingham. Gillingham, let's have a look at the table quickly. Let's go to the big table. So we sit in 5th at the moment. We do have a game in hand that will give us a move into 4th with a victory. We're playing Gillingham, we're in the relegation zone. We've won 3, drawn 7, lost 11, scored 17, conceded 27. We should be beating them today. And so that team that we are putting out to do that is Hammond in goal, Walker-Peters, Nicolau, Mawson and Recker at the back, Calderon, Gomez and Cook continue in the centre, Cherky on the left, Woodburn comes in on the right and Goebbels up front. And the reason why we're having to do that is our keeper Bulker is out injured. He's going to be another 2 weeks before he's back with a torn wrist ligament. We have Pellegrini and Pozzo coming back from injury, and we also have Harvey Elliott out for another 3 weeks with shin splints. So that's the team that we're going to put out to do it. And even with a weakened team, I would expect us, and I've just realised a massive mistake where I have no goalkeeper on the bench. But we can't change that now. So let's hope Hammond doesn't get injured. And I do expect nothing less than a win in this game against Gillingham. And we should get all 3 points. And it's Cherky now with the corner. And it's out. Mawson collects that. Mawson now gives it to Nicolau. Nicolau goes back, it's Calderon, Cook gets it across there to Cherky, and Cherky almost scores there, save there, Gillingham keeping the game, it's 0-0, and it's Cherky now with the corner. Cherky takes the corner, Goebbels hits the crossbar, Calderon now picks up the loose ball, early pressure already, and it's Calderon and he's going to go all the way back now to Ashby Hammond. It remains 0-0. And here's Gillingham. It's Coulson, Okoro, Coulson, Sorensen, Okoro, unchallenged, gets it through, Hart, and then we need to deal with this. It's Coulson again, and he's got it through again. It's going to go out. It's Hanlon there, and we do tackle him. Gomez there, but Hanlon retrieves the ball, and Gomez again, and now we start to break, and it's over the top, and it lands to Goebbels, and Goebbels' keeper stretches out and saves. Was an easy save to make, and it's 0-0, and it's us with another highlight, and this is Recker, Goebbels, Woodburn. Woodburn takes his man on, takes another man on, shoots. The keeper saved, but Cherky from an awkward angle has put us 1-0 up. Let's have a look at this again. It was a very tight angle as Recker took the throw in. Goebbels, then Woodburn, who takes on one man, takes on another, shoots, comes out, and from the angle, header in by Cherky. We are 1-0 up, and that, if we were to go on and win this game, would take us back into 4th position. We would be 7 points still behind Barnsley, who we lost to, but only 3 points behind Derby, who are in that second automatic position. And it's Cherky again now. Cherky keeps it in, and he takes it back off Mighton, and Cherky finds Goebbels, who finds Gomez, who hits the post and the crossbar, and it remains just 1-0. It could have been 3, maybe 4, And it's the corner now. It's Cherky again, who's been involved in everything so far. They get it out, and it's Gomez who picks up the loose ball. Cook now. Cook loses the ball, and it's Coulson as Gillingham try to break. Walker-Peters had no need to do that. Not even been booked, though. But he had no need to do what he did there. Tucker. Seaman. Tucker. Over the top. Calderon gets the ball. It's Cook now. Cook's going to try and release Goebbels. Goebbels gets there, and it's at the keeper. And it remains 1-0, 18 minutes gone, and we do look dangerous. And it's Cherky now. Takes the corner. Comes to nothing. Mawson picks up the loose ball. Confusion there, but Mawson gets it in, and it's Calderon. Ball's off him. Cook. Calderon again. Turns. Passes it to Gomez. Gomez back to... It's Cook now, and Cook loses the ball again. That's a couple of times he's already lost that ball. Goebbels has had plenty of opportunities. 12 shots, 7 on target. Gillingham yet to have a shot. Their keeper Bonham's done well, and we have been in great form. It'd be nice to put this away before half-time. A second goal, but we remain 1-0 up, and we approach half-time. 18 shots and 6% possession. It's a free kick now. It's Calderon. Mawson tried to get there, but Bonham takes it out of the air, and he is having a great game. And he's released that ball, but Okoro can't get there, and Walker-Peters now to Wrecker. Wrecker dallied on the ball, and now Hanlon's in. And Ashby Hammond saves, and it goes out. But Wrecker causing all kinds of problems. It's all problems ourselves. We do have to warn them against a bit of complacency. I think it was creeping in there. We saw there with Wrecker and Cook losing the ball. Calderon now takes the free kick. It's in, and that's Goebbels. It is 2-0. And we'll see this again. It's a Calderon free kick for Goebbels to score with the header. And Goebbels had no right to that. 3 players on there, but he does score it. We don't need to see it for a third time. We know we are 2-0 up. And this is a good result. It is packing tight behind there. Derby, Villa, Fulham, Southampton. 5 points separating them. And it's Seaman now. Myton gets tackled. Cherky. Myton used to play for us. He was on loan when we were at Alfreton. And Goebbels wins the header there, but it's going to go to Tucker. Tucker passes it back, and it's Bonham now. Racic, Bonham, and they're getting it out, and he kicks it, and Myton picks up that ball. Sorensen plays it. It's Coulson now. Coulson gets tackled, and Woodburn does get the pass away. Goebbels gets it, beats his man, and it's 3-0. And we are in the 22nd game, I think we are. And Goebbels has hit his 25th for the season, and we are 3-0 up. And I think this goal has put the game beyond doubt. It's Goebbels who beats his man, puts it in there, and this man is absolutely on fire. It reminds me of when we had Angle at Alfreton. Love those balls over the top, and I don't think at any club we've really had a striker like that since that first season. Calderon now, Cook. Calderon, we are going to think about making a couple of changes soon. Cook over the top, Cherky with a volley there. Let's have a look what changes that we may need to make. We can't really make too many. I think we are going to bring Lewis Cook off for Jaden Harris, and we're going to swap Cook over with Gomez in the centre there. And I think that's all we're going to make. Wrecker, I would have wanted to try and pull off. He's not having a great game, but there's not much we can do, so let's leave it at that for the time being. It's Woodburn, kicks it and it goes out. We do get the throw in. 25 shots, and it's Seaman at his own corner flag there. Charles Cook, Seaman, Tucker, and they're trying to play it out, and it's back to the keeper Bonham. Bonham kicks it out, doesn't go very far, and Walker-Peters with a rash challenge, but it pays off. And Woodburn now. Woodburn's tackled, and they get it out again, but Gomez with the header, and Okoro picks up the loose ball. Charles Cook tries to get it through, but Nicolau gets it out, and now beaten Walker-Peters' heart. Walker-Peters, and we get it out just. That looked a little dangerous, and they're going to pick up the loose ball again, and it's Seaman, and we are going to make a little change. We are going to bring Mr. Welbeck on for Woodburn, and I want to give Busquets a game, so we're going to bring him on for Calderon. 3-0 up with 15 minutes left, and it's Cherky again with the corner. And is that a goal? Harris has only been on the pitch a minute or so, and let's have a look at this again, because we were straight to the highlight. Cherky again involved, and Harris wins the header, and it is 4-0. 4-0 to Fulham. It should be against Gillingham, and we are looking impressive so far. Racic, Diallo plays it to Hanlon. Hanlon loses it to Harris, who releases Goebbels. Goebbels takes on his man, and he's going to go it alone. Hits it, but it's straight at Bonham. He did have an option to the right of him. Oh, I think it might. Yeah, to the right of him. Welbeck, Okoro, Hanlon. And it's Seaman now, gets it in, and there's a shot, and it's just past the top post, and it'll go out for a goal kick. 27 shots and 56% possession, 15 of those on target. We are 4-0 up and on our way to another victory, and it's Cherky again, involved in everything, and it's Nicolau who puts it over the goal. Walker-Peters now, just ticking down the clock. Busquets loses, Wrecker. Hanlon now picks up the ball, and he runs the full length, and he's tackled in the end. Mawson got his foot in, club captain, and it will be a corner. And we are approaching the referee blowing the whistle any time. Cook gets that in, and it's easily saved by Ashby Hammond, who's come in for Bulker today. And Ashby Hammond now will boot that out, and that's it. And look at that, 30 shots on goal, 15 on target, 57% possession, 4-0. And we've added another couple of Goebbels there. And well done, that was excellent. And now on to the FA Cup third round game against Norwich. And I was tempted to make some changes and probably play some of our youngsters. In fact, I'm not going to. I want to try and keep our good form going, and that won't help with a hangover if we went out. And it's not really going to benefit anybody. And it'd be really nice to go through to the fourth round too. So this is the team that we put out. It's Ashby Hammond in goal. Walker-Peters, although carrying a little injury, will play on the right. Nicolau Mawson in the centre. Wrecker on the left. Gomez and Cook continue with Calderon in the centre, with Cherky on the left, Woodburn on the right, and Goebbels up front. We are at home today. Oh, right. Well, let's just say I meant to do that. I misclicked there. My assistant has given the team talk. It seems to have been okay. Wants us to carry straight on from where we left in the last game. So we'll go with that. And Adam, stop being so trigger happy there. So now, this is the game. It's a free kick. This is the first highlight, and it's Xhaka. Xhaka's going to take this, and keeper saved it, but Godfrey gets the rebound, and it is 1-0 to Norwich. Let's have a look at this again. We're going to see this. Xhaka hits it, and Hammond does save, but he parries it, and Godfrey is there. Nobody following through, and we are 1-0 down in the cup. Nicolau over the top, tries to find Woodburn, comes to nothing, and it's Chalabar. Xhaka. Cherky's now picking up this after retrieving, and Goebbels runs through. Goebbels now doesn't shoot, turns, tries to pass it back, but we lose the ball again. Bad decision there. Mawson gets the header, but Rebic has got it. He goes back to his keeper. I think, was that Butland? Lewis now. Lewis turns, plays it inside, and it's Xhaka who's coming onto that, who lays it to Eme, and now it's Neris and Valerie, and we're stepping off, and he's gone past one, and it's two, and we were outclassed there. Norwich good goal. And we are 2-0 down with 14 minutes gone. And this shows us that maybe a lot of work to do if we were to step up. Neris, Valerie, he goes past one man, plays it in, and Vincent Abubakar is unmarked, gets his space and pulls the shot away. 3 shots, and they have scored 2 of them, and we are 2-0 down. And we need to tell them to show some passion. It's the FA Cup 3rd round, and while they may not care about it, I do. Valerie now beats his man again, and it's 3. And Ashby Hammond puts it into his own net because that was awful. Doesn't even deal with it. Valerie again, who goes past his man. Hammond gets his hands. That's awful. And we aren't this bad. I don't think. Oh, and now an injury to Rekka, which means we're going to bring on Chalobah. So Chalobah's going to come on. 3-0 down. I think it's all over. We've been simply outclassed in the first 25 minutes. Find ourselves 3-0 down and no way back into the game. And now we've got another injury. And things go from bad to worse. It's Gomez who's going to come off, and we're going to bring Harris on. And maybe I should have rested a few players because we have got Derby in 3 days' time. But I honestly thought we might have a little squeeze against them. I do expect to see much better in the second half. Nicolau may be anxious, but he's got to deal with it. He might be coming off. Scarby might be coming on. Because we've looked awful at the minute. I don't even think we've had a highlight, have we? Against them, we're going to make some another last change now. Gubel is expecting a goal. We're really stuck. 4 changes we could make. Is there anybody that needs resting? I think let's take Calderon and put Busquets on. Let's go a little bit more attacking. And let's tell them to show some passion, because I'm yet to see it since we last told them, and I've just hit my microphone again. 7 shots, 3 on target. I can't remember seeing a highlight for us. All Norwich, which shows you we haven't been convincing. It's Norwich again, and it's Valerie, who down that left-hand side has really dominated. Neris gets it in, and Ashby Hammond, I'm not confident in. It's a bit different against Gillingham. Hopefully we'll get 3 or 4 of the players we've got out injured back, especially with Rekka. But we have lost 3-0 to Norwich, and we are out of the FA Cup, and it was disappointing. I'm not happy because we have a game against Derby in 3 days' time. Let's have a look. Rekka is out 5-8 days. Gomez is out 1 to 3 days. I'm pretty sure a bruised shin, you could have carried on. Didn't want the FA Cup. See what this has done to the table from the game we beat Gillingham. 4th in the table, 14 wins, 3 draws, 5 defeats. Who would have thought that? Where at the beginning of the season we were down in this bottom bit. We have scored 40, conceded 22, 18 goal difference, 45 points, 7 points off top space, and only 3 points off Derby. Goebbels is the top scorer by some way, 25 goals for the season. Behind him is Seferovic on 14, and then Ben Brayton on 13. Player of the Match awards 10 for Willem Goebbels. Trezeguet some way behind on 4 with Seferovic. Average ratings, Goebbels at the top 7.77, followed by Seferovic and Lewis Baker. Clean sheets, we have Jandre continuing at Derby County with 16 clean sheets, and I think he's played all 22 games. He has. Jandre, who was signed, he went to Arsenal, played 5 games before joining Derby this season in just a £3.5 million transfer. Decent bit of business. Top assists we have Goulabert with 9, Elliott and Cherky both with 8. Yellow cards, Gomez is up there, and we have got a fair few injuries. What we're going to do now is we are going to get through a few games we haven't got long left in the season. We're at just under the halfway point, so we're going to probably get all of January out of the way, introduce you to any new signings we do make, which at the moment I'm saying not many, but we do need a little bit more depth, I think, if we're going to survive. So we're going to come back for the away game against Charlton and the home game against Aston Villa. We've got no cup to think about now. Let's just have a look at the club vision. They're going to be unhappy. Failed in the 4th round, of which was required. Failed in the 3rd round to get to the 3rd round of the League Cup. So it's all about the league, and that seems to be the only thing that is keeping me in a job, because if we'd have stayed down there, I'm sure I'd have been gone by now. So what we're going to do is get all those games out the way, come back for the Charlton and Aston Villa game.
We are heroes tonight. We will fly